21 CFR Part 111, Subpart J, Requirements for Holding and Distributing. Presented by Learn GMP, incorporated in collaboration with Technical Training and Consultation Service LLC. Content of this session is Introduction, General Requirements for Holding, Requirements for Holding of Components, Requirements for Holding of Dietary Supplements, Requirements for Holding of Packaging and Labeling Materials, Distribution Requirements, Handling and Distribution of Return Products, Responsibilities under Subpart J, Importance of Subpart J. Introduction. Subpart J of 21 CFR Part 111 outlines the requirements for the holding and distribution of dietary supplements. It focuses on the proper handling, storage, and distribution of components, dietary supplements, and packaging materials to prevent contamination, degradation, or adulteration. This subpart is essential for ensuring that the integrity, safety, and quality of dietary supplements are maintained throughout the storage and distribution phases of production. General Requirements for Holding, Section 111.405. Holding Conditions. Dietary supplements and components must be stored in a manner that prevents contamination, deterioration, or adulteration. Proper storage conditions must be maintained based on the characteristics of the dietary supplements and components, such as temperature, humidity, light, or other factors that could compromise their integrity. Storage areas. Areas used for holding dietary supplements, components, and packaging materials must be clean, dry, and designed to prevent contamination. If necessary, materials must be stored in tightly sealed containers to prevent contamination. Requirements for Holding of Components, Section 111.410. Component Storage. Components, including dietary ingredients and non-dietary ingredients, must be stored under conditions that prevent contamination and preserve their identity, purity, strength, and composition. Each component must be stored separately or in a manner that ensures that contamination or cross-contamination does not occur between different lots or batches. Lot control. Components must be stored and handled so that each lot can be identified and traced throughout the manufacturing process. Proper lot control ensures that the correct components are used in the right quantities for each batch of dietary supplements. Requirements for Holding of Dietary Supplements, Section 111.415. Storage and Handling of Finished Products. Finished dietary supplements must be held in a manner that prevents contamination and maintains product integrity until they are distributed or used. Conditions such as temperature, humidity, and lighting should be controlled based on the nature of the dietary supplement, for examples, shelf life, sensitivity to light or temperature, expiration dating, and batch control. Dietary supplements that have expiration dates must be segregated from those that are still within their use-by dates to ensure that expired products are not distributed or used. Dietary supplements must be clearly labeled with their expiration or best-by dates. Requirements for Holding of Packaging and Labeling Materials, Section 111.420. Packaging Material Storage. Packaging materials must be stored in a way that prevents contamination and deterioration. They should be stored in clean, dry conditions, away from contaminants, and in areas that are not exposed to the elements or extreme temperatures. Label storage. Labels must also be stored in a manner that prevents damage, deterioration, or contamination. The storage conditions must prevent mislabeling or mixing up labels for different products. Distribution Requirements, Section 111.425. Control over distribution. Manufacturers must implement procedures for distributing dietary supplements that ensure the product reaches the intended recipient without being exposed to conditions that could compromise its quality. The product is distributed in accordance with labeling and specifications. Distribution documentation. Records must be kept of the distribution of each batch of dietary supplements, including the name and address of the purchaser or recipient, the amount of product distributed, the date of distribution, any other relevant details necessary for traceability. Distribution Requirements, Section 111.425. Recall Procedures. If a dietary supplement is found to be defective, adulterated, or mislabeled after distribution, manufacturers must have a system for recalling or withdrawing the product from the market. The manufacturer must track the affected product and notify customers or distributors to ensure the products are removed from circulation. Handling and distribution of returned products, Section 111.430. Product returns. If a dietary supplement is returned by a customer, it must be handled properly to ensure it has not been tampered with or contaminated. Returned products must be quarantined until they are evaluated to determine if they can be reprocessed, used, or need to be discarded. Record keeping for returns. Proper documentation must be maintained for all returns, including the reason for return, the action taken, whether the product was discarded, reprocessed, or redistributed, any corrective actions implemented based on the returns. Responsibilities under Subpart J. Proper storage. Ensure that all components, dietary supplements, packaging, and labeling materials are stored under conditions that preserve their quality and prevent contamination. Maintain lot control. Maintain lot control and traceability for components and finished dietary supplements to allow for easy identification in case of a recall or investigation. Distribution records. Keep thorough records of all product distributions to ensure traceability and compliance. Product returns. Implement procedures for handling returned dietary supplements and ensure proper documentation and evaluations are conducted for all returned products. Importance of Subpart J. Prevents contamination. Proper storage and handling ensure that dietary supplements remain safe and effective. Maintains product integrity. Conditions such as temperature and humidity control help maintain the product's strength, purity, and composition until it reaches the consumer. Regulatory compliance. Complying with Subpart J requirements helps manufacturers adhere to FDA CGMP regulations, reducing the risk of recalls or legal issues. Consumer confidence. Proper distribution and storage practices ensure that consumers receive safe, high-quality products. Thanks for watching our channel. Feel free to reach us at contact@learngmp.com for any training and consultation requirements.